We see this look from time to time from the Knights. Third down, St. Clair deep drop back. He's going deep down the field. The pass is caught. Wide open 40, 30. It's Buck Studwell. 15, 10, 5 touchdown. New York. They're going to hand it off to H. Shaw. He got the first down. A championship is coming to New York.
23 seconds, 22 seconds. What are they going to do here? 4 yards from the end zone. Dunhill going to throw again. Dunhill out to Hollywood. BDG Hollywood touchdown! Oh my. The Atlanta Swarm. How about it? Your champions, Georgia. 27-10 over Sioux Falls. Your Atlanta Swarm are title winners. To the right, that's Carr. 2 down from the end. Handoff, Sandlin. Boy, he almost got hit the backfield, and Sandlin breaks it through for a touchdown for Seattle. What a run from Sandlin. He was dead to rights in the backfield and made something out of nothing. They're going to go 5 wide for Wigmore. Wigmore steps up, hit as he threw. Pass is intercepted at the 50 with room to return. It's Albert Begin again. 35-30. Albert Begin. 20, 10. Touchdown, Lone Star. Ivory Irvin not fast enough this time, and the Glory right back in it.
Second and 10 from the 38. Marconi back to pass against another blitz. Marconi's going to avoid a sack. Throw a ball deep down the field. The pass is caught. What a throw! What a throw! Touchdown! Minneapolis to Auburn Savu. Oh my goodness! A slow motion replay here. You've got to be kidding me. SFL is gonna bring out the trophy, and Minneapolis is gonna get to celebrate for the fans that came down. Receivers, 3 to the right side. Tallahassee needs a stop. They haven't gotten one here in the third. And Cochran's go to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. And Alaska has 9 points here in the third quarter. That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the Alaska Storm. They are your Season 11 SFL champions.
How about EJ DeCue, Patrick Kelly, and Sean Crooked on that line? Great protection for Jackson. Now Moses is running over people, as are the rest of the Scorpions, and they bite him for a touchdown.
This Matt Wilson's pass is caught for a touchdown. What a throw to Dijon Swan. The Mexico City Aztecs, headlined by team owner Ramos Lin, gets their first SFL championship, a 38-24 victory over Chicago.
Tonight, Wigmore now 10 of 13, 76 yards, 14th pass of the day. Wigmore fires it outside, it's intercepted! John Barnhart, touchdown! Sioux Falls, he does it again for the Sparrows in the postseason!
Showing a blitz on the outside, it's Queen City. Everyone stays home. Darnell Black runs past everybody, picks up a block. Darnell Black in the open field. 40, 35, 30. Being chased by Shine. He won't catch him. And the Hyenas have cut it to 7.
Mama, there goes that man.
Stats all-star crew for a terrific start so far. Third down and 9 to start the second quarter. Ivory Irvin's over the top, and it's a touchdown for Baltimore.
Jark Tarkington has a chance to win it.
Oh my goodness. For all of that, and Tarkington gives Baltimore their 3rd straight title. Oh my goodness.
Well, McChesney gonna get a carry. Oh, there goes McChesney. One man to beat, he breaks it. Jaron McChesney down the sideline. Francis trying to catch him. Not today, young fella. Touchdown Denver, they're right back in it. Down to 15 seconds left. Sully back to pass. He's going to Corky. It is caught. And he puts it down. Touchdown, DC.
Greg Corky.
They got to pull out something miraculous here.
DC can't let him get behind him. They got to keep everything in front of him here. This is the ball game. Daniel Garcia back to pass. He's going to throw it deep to the middle. The pass is caught, and the tackle is made. And the DC Dragons have won the championship by a miracle on Zach Sully's throw to Greg Corky. And I let the fellas give me a breath.
Week 6 SFL action continues this evening from the Stockyards in Texas as the Fort Worth Toros host the Charleston Predators. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and joining me in the booth is the man whose basement looks like a dungeon. He is Gerald Smith. With us on stats, Stephen Hacker. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Gerald, how are you doing tonight?
Doing really good. Dungeon's a good place for those backup guys you need to cut them a lesson.
Tex Grigg in particular, I'm guessing?
Yes.
These two teams don't meet often. They've only faced off twice in the past 3 years. Those previous games were close, though, both ending with a 6-point or less deficit between the teams. Tonight, they're in Fort Worth for the first time, each team fighting hard for the win. For Charleston, they're at the bottom of the Atlantic Division, looking to climb back into the race, only one game behind D.C. Fort Worth is in second place behind Mexico City, and a win would give them the same record as the Aztecs, who play tomorrow night. Still plenty of football left in the season, but important games for each of these teams. What are the keys to victory for both of them?
Charleston has to score points and rush the ball effectively. They are second to last in points scored and only average 2.1 yards per rushing attempt, which is also second to last. They may have to rely on their veteran quarterback and Kentez Johnson to get them in a position to win. Fort Worth has to keep the opposing rushing attack under 100 yards. When they do that, they have won games. But their rushing defense ranks third to last in yards allowed this season, so it could prove difficult. They, too, might have to rely on the passing game as they come into Week 6 with the third best passing attack. Whichever team can execute their game plan the best should come away with the victory.
All right, well, as Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. So we'll get down to the field, get this one started where Charleston is getting things teed up and ready to go. Brad Brechet, the kicker for Charleston, with his hand in the air, and we are underway here from Fort Worth. Back to receive this kick is Charlie Baker. Brings it up to the 23-yard line. And that's where Fort Worth will get things started this evening. Marcus Dunhill, 8 seasons in the league, the two-time All-Star, second season with the Toros. He is the quarterback, leading his squad out onto the field for the first time this evening. Dunhill was 32 of 43 for 400 yards even last week in the impressive win over Houston. Had 3 touchdowns, even threw 4 picks, and still came away with the win. 3 wide receivers set on first down. Short pass over the middle. And already right off the bat, Gerald, 4 picks last week, 1 tonight, and it's on the first snap of the game.
Yeah, look, it looks like Dunhill had his guy, and it just bounced off of his hands. And here we're going to see a good replay here after looking at second monitor. Yeah, it bounced off his guy's hands. It was kind of a contested catch there, just kind of bounced off his guy's hands. And now Charleston, I mean, this them scoring not too many points on the season. Average per game. This is a very, very good start for them.
Absolutely. Jacob Clear's second interception on the season. Yeah, you mentioned points scored, 27th, almost last place in the league for Charleston. Their defense is doing great, top 10 in points allowed, but they haven't been able to get a lot of points on the board. Already starting out in field goal range, but the first pass of the night from Kentez Johnson is incomplete. Second down and 10. We'll roll through the starters for Charleston. Quarterback is Kentez Johnson. The halfback, Saren Storm. The other halfback, Nick Hoagland. We'll see both of them tonight. See if they both stay healthy. Terrell Sutherland is the fullback. The wide receivers are Honus Odeby, Davius Reed, and Jay Hayden. The tight end, Brian Murphy. At center, rookie St. Nebuchadnezzar. Ball is handed off to Storm on second down, and he goes nowhere. Third down and 10.
Yeah, with these 2 guys right here in the backfield, they're going to have to make something work pretty good for them. And I think Fort Worth gave up over 200 yards over 200 yards in one game alone as far as rushing attack goes. So their rushing defense could be a little bit skewed.
It's actually the fullback, Terrell Sutherland, on that rush that went nowhere. That catch over the middle, good for a first down. Connecting with the tight end, Brian Murphy, and moving the chains.
Did he get it? It was close. Looking at a second monitor replay, it looked like it was close.
It was close.
So they gave it to him.
So first down and 10 now from the 21. Johnson in the gun. 3 wide receivers out to his right, 1 to the left. Steps up, throws over the middle, and a diving grab at the 5-yard line. Flying across the middle, making that catch First down and goal. That one went to Jay Hayden.
And he laid out. I don't think
Sure
we
did.
see very many guys at least running a post route, laying out, because that's a recipe to get just put in the hospital.
Jay Hayden last week with 86 yards on 14 receptions. A busy guy. Ball is handed off and running around to the right and into the end zone is Saren Storm. Touchdown, Charleston. They strike first. Points off turnovers, Gerald. They got it done.
Right, they had themselves in really good field position, and this is actually Charleston's very first rushing touchdown on the season.
Indeed it is.
And what better way to get it after getting yourself a turnover, getting yourself in good position, and the offense was able to hand it off and get themselves in a 6-0 lead.
Gino McFly in the chat says, we can run the ball. Yeah, apparently you can because you're on the board first. Getting that early turnover from Dunhill. Picked off by Jacob Clear. And just a few plays is all it takes. They're in to the end zone for 6. Extra point try is up and good. If you are new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Bretchett puts the ball back up into the air. Charlie Baker back at his own goal line. The blocker's out in front, tries to get around to the left and tackled at the 22. Marcus Dunhill back out onto the field now with the rest of the offense. The halfback is Jay-Z Bacon, the fullback Aaron Alexander. Wide receivers are John Fullerton, Cade Stevens, and Charlie Baker, along with Stephen Hacker. At tight end, number 44, Robert Garrett Jr. Left tackle is Emilio Panda, and the left guard, Frank Burks. 3 wide receiver set again on first down. Dunhill right back to the air, right back across the middle, and this one is incomplete. He's trying to hit Hacker. Well defended, second down.
Man, it looked like Hacker had his hands on it right there, and
Sure
he just
did.
got knocked out. Jeez, these guys are hitting pretty hard early in the game. 2 passes, 2 incompletions.
Punishing hit by Mark Martin, as you see right there. 4 down linemen for Charleston, 7 in the box. Trying to get their first yards of the ball game. Dunhill under pressure, and he will go down. Got the ball away. But, man, that pressure got there, and still nothing to show for the yards. John Lally, it looks like, got the pressure there.
3 plays.
No, that was Robert Cherry.
Yeah, 3 plays, 3 incompletions. And now they're in a 3rd and long. I'm actually surprised they have not run the ball yet.
They haven't gotten a single yard. No completions, no yards, no nothing. Dunhill to throw.
Wow.
And that one swatted away as well. Another great job by the defense. Sam Blotner in on the coverage. Will roll through the starting defense for Charleston that just did a fantastic job of getting a 3 and out after no yards allowed. The defensive line, Thomas Matthews, John Lally, Maurer Rivers, and Robert Cherry. The linebackers, Jack Brown, Gino McFly, and Kevin Brackett. The secondary is Mark Martin, Tyson Thorne, Sam Blotner, Jacob Clear, Matt Ryan, and John Stamango.
And Charleston should get pretty good field position right here.
Ray Einhorn punting from his own 10-yard line. Fair catch called for. Back at the 45-yard line. Honus Odeby, the returner for Charleston. And the Predators back out on the field on offense. It only took 5 plays to go 31 yards and get into the end zone. Minute and a half. This time, worse starting field position, but still pretty darn good. 55 yards away from the end zone. Johnson back at the line. Johnson also 8 seasons in the league, along with Marcus Dunhill on the other side. Ball is handed off, and yeah, look, they can run. Saren Storm gets 7 outside to the left.
Yeah. I mean, look, and this is the thing, and thinking coming in, hey, you know, they know they have to get their run game going, and if they were looking at the same statistics, right, sometimes stats lie. Just look up against it. They felt like, seems like maybe they feel like they could run against this defense here. So, and here they are lining up in another heavy set.
Three backs in the backfield. Storm once again takes the handoff and gets another chunk of yardage. 10 yards straight up the gut. First down.
And the blocking on this right here was good. He had a couple of guys leading the way. Look at his fullback and his backup tight end. Oh. Can't execute any better than that.
First down and 10 from the Fort Worth 38-yard line. Johnson to throw. Swings this one down to the right. Nick Hoagland gets the catch. He's the other back in this three-pronged rushing attack. Gets 6.
And you know, Kintesh Johnson he leads the league in completions coming into this week. So he's fairly efficient, right? He's got 8 TDs, 8 interceptions on the season.
Johnson went 37 to 59, almost 300 yards last week. That rush goes nowhere. They'll spot it with a 1-yard loss. On the play, 3rd down and 5. Yeah, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks last week. Tough battle they lost to Baltimore, which, just about everybody does. 33 to 21. Only 1-4 on the season after their first 5 games. Much needed bye week coming up. That pass over the middle, swatted down. Remington James in on the coverage. Starting defense for Fort Worth. The defensive lines, Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, Luther Gond, and Melt Gibson. The linebackers, E.K. Vinson, Noah Rager, and J.L. Browning. The secondary, Adam Leach, Remington James, who you just saw, Aiden Davis, Ben Stone, and Delaney Nash. On for the field goal try now, Brad Bretchett. Lion Trees on to hold. Mr. and Mrs. Trees naming their boy Lion. That's interesting. This is a long field goal, almost 50 yards away. It's up, and it is good, officially from 49. And don't look now, Charleston, 2-score lead.
I mean, look, they're ready to get back in the win column. Their first win of the season came in week 1. If they'd done lost 4 in a row, while Fort Worth started, the season off with the win, lost 2 in a row, and got back in the win column last week. So, Charleston, hey, look, they're off to a very fast start here on the road, right? Defense is playing lights out. Turnover they got on Fort Worth's first drive, and then they forced them to a 3-and-out on the second.
And Fort Worth has scored no less than 24 points in all 4 games they've played so far this season. So that 0 on the scoreboard ain't going to stay there for long. They're going to get their points, so Charleston's going to have to keep on doing it. They won their week 1 matchup against Houston by only 3 points, and then they lost by 2 scores, lost by 8, lost by 5, and then lost by 2 scores again last week to Baltimore. So having a 2-score lead early on here in the first quarter goes a long way to help them out. They just have to keep that going. And they're going to stick to the passing game right now. Gerald Dunhill, empty backfield, wide open out route down to the bottom, connects with Stephen Hacker for 5.
That play right there was a good, hey, let's just get something positive out of it, right? Let's
their first yards of the day.
Right, let's send our stud wide receiver out on a little short route. Let's get him the ball. That way we get something positive going and we can build off of that. Man, I tell you what, I love Stephen Hacker. Just got to just go out there, no gloves, tape up my fingers. Right, no gloves. He's hardcore, man. Old school.
Dunhill to throw again, goes down to the bottom. This time connects with John Fullerton. Good for a first down up to the 41-yard line. Nice gain of 12 on that one.
Yeah, the rookie first rounder making his first catch of this game and picked up the first down. Man, that just doesn't look appealing. A 2.8 rating on 16 yards for the quarterback.
Fullerton only with 1 catch for 4 yards last week. Already tripled that. And the running game going to be slow to get going. Aaron Alexander takes that handoff. Good for a gain of 1.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get something a little bit better going like that today. Look, and they have good. I mean, even averaging on the season, right? Both guys in their backfield are over 3.5 per carry on a season. So I don't think that a short game like that concerns them at all.
Dunhill swings this one down to the bottom. He's able to gain about 4 yards on the play. Connects up with Jay-Z Bacon, the halfback.
Well, gets them in a 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5. It's not terrible, but it gives them in a situation where they might be able to, swing it out to Jay-Z Bacon or, hit a nice short out route to Hacker or Cade Stevens.
Second, third down of the ball game. They were not able to convert the first. And this one will be a free play. Doesn't matter. Connects over the middle to Cade Stevens. And that penalty will be declined. And with that reception, Gerald, they've finally crossed midfield.
Yeah, and they picked up a couple of first downs. And it all started on, getting Steven Hacker a 4 or 5 yard out route, right? Just to get something positive, going their way, right? A high percentage route and everything else, right? Get everybody calmed down after, it seemed like they just got punched in the mouth, and all of a sudden they just, and got knocked down, looked up, oh my gosh, 10-0. We got to do something.
Time to play some football. Robert Cherry was flagged for jumping off sides on that penalty, was declined. First down and 10 now from the Charleston 43-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receiver set. Dunhill will throw, and he is sacked, but I believe that was probably holding. Looks like actually Thomas Matthews, who got that sack, was being held, so this penalty will probably be declined too. Well, yeah, the Predators, they'll accept the penalty. That's interesting.
They would.
Well, they got the sack. I take the second down and...
How far was the sack?
No. Like 6 yards? 2nd and 16 versus a 1st and 20? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, we're going to play the percentages and see how many yards they're going to get on first down.
Why don't you ask Thomas Matthews if he'd rather have that sack on his stat line or the penalty? Dunhill gets this one out to Stevens. 2nd and 16 anyway.
It is. And they took away that man's sack.
That's what I'm saying. Either way, it ended up the same, and now he lost his sack.
Yeah. He's going to be pointing fingers to the sideline wondering what the heck you doing.
Yeah. Tom, yeah, he's listen, he's rightfully unhappy now. I don't blame you. 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. 4 wide receiver look. Dunhill in the gun. Gets it out to Bacon. Bacon turning upfield, spins, gets past the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 8.
And they're faced with a 3rd and long. Last time when it was on a 3rd and long, they ended up in a punt. So let's see what Fort Worth is going to come out in to see if they can pick it up. It's going to be their 3rd stress type of down situation they got going here.
Bo knows in the chat, nothing worse than losing your sack. I know, stats matter. I'm sure that's what he meant. Dunhill down the left side, and it's complete. Hacker, end zone, touchdown, Fort Worth. The 0 is gone from that scoreboard.
Hacker's like, I'm tired of this nonsense, right? I'm going to moss the guy, and then when he tries to get me, I'm going to put a spin move on him and break the tackle. I don't think I've ever seen a spin move. Dude, watch this. The athleticism of this guy. He's going to jump, moss the guy, and then come right down and hit a spin move on him.
Made him fall.
That's the stuff you can do with no gloves.
There you go. Yeah, the gloves just slow you down and get in the way.
Just tape the knuckles.
Stephen Hacker, 42 yards to the end zone. Stephen Hacker on stats telling us that Stephen Hacker on the field got that 42-yard touchdown catch. I don't think there's a relation. I think that's just coincidence. But
it's a very common name.
It is, yeah. 3 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown now on 4 targets. The extra point by Amelia Rose is up, and she gets it through. It's good. Back down to a 1-score game. Only 3 points separating.
That's the way to answer, right? After, look, it was only fitting, right? That drive started with Hacker, and it ended with Hacker.
That's right.
The first positive play that they've had
Yep.
You know, in
that
this
5
game,
yard out.
right? Started with a hacker and ended with a hacker. He's like, I'm gonna start when I finished, or finish what I started.
One of those two.
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's been a long day. You don't know what the heck you're saying. It's your basement's a dungeon after all. I mean,
Yeah.
could be some sort of spores down there or something, and now you got like some fungus. It's gonna be The Last of Us. You seen that? Have you played The Last of Us games?
Yes.
You see the show on
The show is
HBO Max?
amazing.
It is so good.
It's
New
amazing.
episodes every Monday. Why am I doing a plug for
No, it's
HBO
not.
Max?
No, it's not
What?
Monday. It's on
Sunday.
Sundays.
I thought I said Sunday.
You said
See,
Monday.
it's the spores from your basement. They're in my brain now too. First down and 10 from the Charleston 20. What are we even talking about? Anyway, Kentez Johnson back out onto the field. Their 2-score lead, now just a 1-score lead. Saren Storm trying to get something going, can't do it. Tried to bounce back, got back to the line, second down.
Yeah, and those defensive tackles and the linebacker just got in there and just shut that down right up the middle. The running lane that he did have was just got clogged up by Noah Reiger right there, just, you know, filling the gap, causing the running back to change his direction, and was able to, you know, get him for no gain.
Second down and 10 from the 20. Johnson throws deep over the middle, and that one's nearly picked off. A couple of Toros had their hands on the ball, could not haul it in. Third down and long.
Man, how does Delaney Nash not come down with that? The 6-year veteran, man, he's known as being one of their, you know, their better guys on the back end to be able to pick stuff like that off. It's a missed opportunity for them, but hey, look, it's 3rd and 10. One of the first real stressful situations for Charleston here.
Johnson 3 of 6 on the day. They're 1 of 2 on third down. Connect over the middle, now 2 of 3 on third down. Getting it up to their 31-yard line. Honus Odeby with the catch.
Yeah, they gave the wide receivers of Charleston just a little bit too much room. He was able to catch it at about the 6-7 yard mark and be able to, you know, nimble his way to the other ones and get tackled over the line.
Nimbled his way, yeah?
Nimble, yeah, that's a thing.
Is it?
Nimble.
I guess.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. What?
Oh, he jumped over a candlestick. I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but Nick Hoagland getting a nice run up the left-hand side on that swing route pass. First down and 10, back-to-back first downs. Now all the way up to the 46-yard line, 15-yard gain.
Well, one thing that Charleston is showing, man, that they came to play here. You know, that, hey, they're moving the ball. You know, they already got well over half of their points, you know, per game already with 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Showing that they can score.
Like I said earlier on, that's been the hard part for them, is scoring points on offense. The defense is a top 10 defense in points allowed, so they're doing their part. 3 first down plays in a row. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Brian Murphy with the catch.
Kent, look, and that's why Kentez is number 1 in completions. He fit that in a pretty tight gap.
Sure
and he
did.
Look, and his tight end made an excellent play. He had to turn around, kind of get it right. He didn't leave.
Tight ends are athletes too, man. They can make spinning catches like Hacker. He ain't the only one.
No, man, they're just offensive linemen that can catch.
Wow. Get on.
I'll put a tackle
Get out of
eligible
my
out
booth.
there.
I want to see that. 3 backs in the backfield now for Charleston. Storm takes the handoff, breaks a couple of tackles, makes a couple more miss, and gets all the way up to the 28-yard line. A powerful run for Saren Storm, a gain of 12.
Wow, man, he made himself skinny right, and then, you know, right at the beginning to get through a couple of blocks there, and then broke that tackle. And if he would have just cut to his left right there where his guy was blocking on the outside, he may have been off to the races.
Hayden Davis with the touchdown-saving tackle at the 28. Delaney Nash getting ready to make some plays. Johnson changing the play at the line. Likes what he sees on defense, I guess, or doesn't. I guess it could go either way. Making that change. Let's see what he does. Hands this ball off to Hoagland. Gains 1. Not sure what that audible was, but I don't think it quite worked.
Well, I think he audibled from a pass to a run, and you can see the Fort Worth defense adjust to it right at pre-snap. All the DBs were playing a little bit further back, and maybe it was a little bit of a deep route. He tried to audible, you know, and kind of run up the middle, catch him off guard. But Fort Worth adjusted. They brought their safeties up.
Johnson swings this one out. Oh, and absolutely crushed JL Browning. Says, sit down, Storm. I'm tired of seeing you run.
Look, you just didn't have any help out there. Browning just ran by. The offensive lineman threw what I call a no-hitter because he hit no one.
Wow.
And he left this running back out there to hang.
Final seconds ticking away here in quarter number 1. Final play of the first quarter will be a completion for a first down up to the 17-yard line. A little dump down pass over the middle. And that will be the end of the first quarter. So, a lot of action so far in this one. Charleston 10, Fort Worth 7. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Stephen Hacker with us on stats. Cameron Irvine producing back at SFL Studios. Lucas DeVore in the chat says, listening while I'm working. Would love to see the Charleston upset. Well, you can't see it if you're only listening, but good luck, sir. Saren Storm takes that swing route pass out of bounds for a loss of 2. Second down and 12.
Yeah, look, and it's hard. Like the way Charleston has been moving the ball throughout the first quarter, it's kind of hard to believe that even in total yards, they are second to last, right? It seems like they put together a pretty good game plan right here up against Fort Worth to be able to move the ball. And they're right inside the 20.
Johnson, quick pass over the middle. That one's complete. One-handed spinning catch by the tight end because they're athletic specimens like you wouldn't believe. Gain of 10, third and 2.
I can believe it, so I guess seeing is believing. I see it, so I guess I got to believe it. I think Kentez is testing him.
Think so?
See how athletic you really are.
Let me throw it to your off shoulder there.
Have you do pirouettes out there catching balls.
3 of 4 on third down. It looks like they will not get this one. 4th and inches. Saren Storm got the catch and then just got absolutely leveled. Aiden Davis didn't want to let him get past the chains, or past the sticks, I should say. 4th down.
Yeah, that was a really good stop. And I agree with this right here, but Charleston, look, I would do it.
Yeah, snap this.
Yep. I would give it to Sutherland right here.
Offense still on the field. Johnson under center. Sutherland behind him. Storm behind him. And it looks like they are not going to snap it, and Fort Worth is not going to jump. Timeout called. And we'll see the field goal unit come onto the field. Brad Bretchett on his way out, along with Lion Trees to hold.
Lion Trees. I'm just wondering where the last name Trees come from.
I don't know. Is it like what sort of heritage has the last, the surname of Trees?
I have no idea.
These are the things that we wonder. Among other things that we wonder, like,
maybe we can just send word to, hey, Mr. Trees, have Mom call the booth and tell us.
Yeah, let us know, because we're curious people. Like, do turtles have feet, hands, flippers? Like, we don't know. It's not feet. No, it is feet. Now, you said there were hands last week. 24-yard field goal is up and good. Charleston extends their lead to 6. I thought you said they had hands. I'm like, it's not a hand. And you're like, what is it, flipper? I'm like, it's a foot.
What can he grab stuff like hands can grab?
No, it doesn't have opposable thumbs. It's just.
Well, he does have like nails.
Well, yeah. Well, most 5. Missing one of them. His whole leg. Because it's a leg. So yeah, he's missing a leg. So it's a feet. It's a foot.
Turtle uses that thing too. It's a little nub.
Oh yeah, he uses that little nub. My beloved pet turtle. Return taken up to the 22-yard line by Baker. Fort Worth back out onto the field on offense. Their first drive was 1 and out. Dunhill threw a pick on the opening play of the game. 3 and out on the next possession. And finally able to get some points on the board. A 42-yard, pretty darn impressive touchdown reception by Stephen Hacker. Spinning and making Mark Martin fall to the ground on that catch. Their first drive of the second quarter. We'll see how they do. Jay-Z Bacon able to gain 6, second down, and gain 4, second down and 6.
Yeah, they're going to have to answer here, right? But if they keep Charleston, right, going down kicking field goals, and Fort Worth is able to go down and score touchdowns, I mean, Fort Worth is eventually going to catch up to them. Being an 8.5-point favorite coming in this week, it's, getting down, down 10 early, they definitely have some work cut out for them.
Dunhill gets this one out to Bacon once again. This time loses a yard. 3rd down and 7. Bridge City Bird says the Trees family is based from the Branch family, then the Seed family. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just making that up. And then Duffman in the chat here saying, wouldn't it depend on what type of turtle it is? And that would help decide feet or flipper. So like sea turtles have flippers.
Because of flippers.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about my beloved red-eared slider pet turtle. He's only got 3 legs. He was half price, though. And that 3rd down pass over the middle is incomplete. Cade Stevens, the intended target, could not haul it in. Got close, though. But another quick 3 and out.
Man, why you got to do turtle like that, man?
What?
Tell him like he's not worth full price because he was missing a hand.
Listen, he was $14. He's missing a foot, not a hand.
The foot or at the rear, that's a foot.
Hey,
His hand is up front by his head.
Does he stand up on his back 2 legs and walk around? No.
I mean, he kind of.
Here we go.
He did climb up the rock.
They're all feet. He's missing a leg. He's missing his front right leg, poor little guy. But listen, I had saved up $14. I was like 8 years old. I saved up $14 because that's how much he cost. I got there, and they said, well, that's another punishing hit. If you want that turtle, we'll only charge you $7. I thought that's a good deal because $7 is half off, but he was only missing 25% of his legs. So, like, that was the discount was not comparative to
at 8. You're really breaking down like
I was
like
yeah.
That. Well, he's got 4 limbs.
Math whiz.
Let's not count his body, which is the whole thing. We're just counting
right.
limbs.
Charleston back out onto the field on offense. Johnson, quick pass over the middle, jumping catch. Jumping catch by who, Gerald?
It's the tight end.
That's right, it's the tight end.
Throwing my hands up. See what I mean? He's yelling down here. Tight ends could beat people. Maybe I just need to give the man some credit because he's been kind of their go-to guy in the passing game.
Absolutely. He's having a phenomenal night catching the ball so far. 4 receptions for 50 yards. He's leading the team. In fact, he's got more receiving yards than anybody else combined.
Dude, and he high-pointed that ball, too. Him being a big guy like he is, man. He just jumped up and got it before he had a chance to even get anywhere near anybody else.
And another free play.
Oh, the blocking here.
The blocking is great. Saren Storm gets around to the outside all the way up to the 31-yard line. We'll check the penalty, but pretty sure this one will be declined.
Neutral zone infraction, number 53, defense.
And the penalty is indeed declined. We see the stats on the screen there so far. All in Charleston's favor. Negative rushing yards so far for Fort Worth, -9 on the day.
Yeah, it's just I think Fort Worth is still trying to find it, right? Trying to find it this game. Start the hacker. He can start it and finish it.
Absolutely. Johnson in the gun now. 1st down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Pressure on its way. Oh, that's what you call a hit. My goodness. What is Aiden Davis again? He's been laying people out.
Dude, he hit him.
Oh, man.
What? And dude, and you know the best part about it? That dude just hits this guy, right? And then he gets up and starts talking in his face like, yeah, you come across the middle next time. You'll get more of that. That's more of that where that came from.
Oh, man. Adam Leach was in on the coverage and actually got burned.
And
Jay Hayden was running free, and no, Aiden Davis says nope.
I have no idea if you're a wide receiver or Jay Hayden. What do you say to that? Yeah, man, that's cool.
Yeah. Saren Storm gets a 1st down up to the 21-yard line. Nice catch and run for 23.
And he just beat up everybody to the 1st down marker there. Got a good block by Sutherland right there on off of the linebacker there, and he was able to just run and get right past the 1st down. That was a good play after that pass over the middle. I can just imagine The wide receiver's like, yeah, don't throw it to me on this very next play.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Johnson to throw. Goes over the middle. This time it's caught. And another punishing hit. Hauled in by Honus Odabe. Adam Leach with the tackle. First down and goal from the 9.
God, it's like he got stood up. And then Hayden Davis comes and just lays the wood. Jeez. But look, here is, not for nothing. It's Charleston inside the 9.
Sarah Storm breaking tackles, trying to fight. Gains 5, gets up to the 4-yard line. Second down and goal. Duffman in the chat says the red-eared slider is included in the list of the world's most 100 invasive species. I take offense to that. There's nothing invasive about my beloved pet turtle. They have a life expectancy of about 25 years. Dude's over 30 years old. It's unbelievable. Pretty sure he's immortal. Second and goal. Johnson in the gun. Steps up towards the end zone. That one's out of bounds. Incomplete. Hit as he threw. Third and goal.
Well, I think that's fortunate right there for Charleston, because I think if he throws that, the corner on that side right there is ready to just jump that, pick it off. So fortunate enough for Charleston that Quintez got hit by Gond coming around the edge, and it actually flew out of bounds.
7 plays so far on this drive. One last shot potentially at the end zone here. Johnson into the end zone, tipped and incomplete. Batted down in the end zone by E.K. Vincent, the middle linebacker. 11 seasons in the league for Vincent. He's swatted down many a pass. Could have picked that one off. Looked a little lazy there.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just knock it down. As long as they don't catch it, we can force another field goal. Look, and this is somewhat of a win for Fort Worth here. This is Charleston's 3rd time getting into scoring range. I think this is their 2nd straight time getting into the red zone, and Fort Worth forcing a field goal. If Fort Worth can put touchdowns on the board, Charleston will struggle if they're going to just settle for field goals.
Vincent has 17 picks on his career. Did not add to that total there. 21-yard field goal by Breccia is up and good. Nice hold by Trees. And once again, a 2-score ball game as they add 3 more onto the board. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, as Matt would always say, when a team was just winning by kicking a bunch of field goals. But whatever gets it done, they're leading by 9.
I wish Matt was here, because actually, Matt, can someone die by paper cuts?
Oh, he would say absolutely. If there was 1,000 of them?
Would they just go into shock because that crap just burns, dude?
Yeah, paper cuts are the worst. Like, lob off my finger. Don't give me a paper cut. First down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Check this out, Gerald. The SFL would like to recognize some staff who operate mostly behind the scenes to keep the league operational. Mike Daggs directs the broadcast team. He's a cool, almost said a bad word, cool guy. Compiling research data, collecting availability, and scheduling crews. Chris Curtis provides assistance and technical support and vets new broadcasters. Stephen Hacker, also on this broadcast, direct game day operations to ensure broadcast and stat teams are functioning all weekend long. Check back in future weeks to hear more about how the SFL is the most well-run simulation operation. I can't speak, but boy, oh boy, can I do all that other stuff that they listed.
Yeah, and here's Dunhill getting a very good reception to the wide receiver. But look, Curtis does great. Hacker does great. Daggs, I think he's just around. I think he has enough lackeys that just do stuff for him.
That's what it's all about.
He's got computer programs that does stuff for him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So when everybody does it, we all have to click a button, and Daggs is like, yeah, I'm just fine.
I just sit back and take all the credit. It's all about the glory. Dunhill over the middle. Oh, nice catch. Great hit. Couldn't knock the ball loose. So first down and 10 inside Charleston territory. Pass was hauled in by Charlie Baker. First and 10 from the 43.
Right. First on the first play, right, they throw it to Fullerton to get them a chunk play, and here you are throwing it to the third-year player Charlie Baker. 2 plays, 2 pieces of chunk yardage.
Dunhill to throw on first down. Quick pass over the middle. That one's complete for another first down. Getting the other tight end involved, Robert Garrett Jr. with his first catch of the ball game goes for a first down to the 32-yard line.
Now it seems like their offense is the best whenever Robert Garrett Jr., the Cowboy, gets involved. And here he is with his first reception, and they're moving. First downs on every play.
Dunhill in the gun, Bacon to his right. Dunhill goes to the left, coming back for that one. Stephen Hacker breaking more tackles. Unbelievable. Out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
In all his seasons here, and in all my seasons in this league, I don't think I've seen a wide receiver break as many tackles as Stephen Hacker has.
It's a man-possessed 19-yard gain on the play.
Well, I mean, look, when you're 6'5", 235 pounds, I don't think a 190 DB can bring you down. You think 9 seasons in the league he'd lose a step? Nope.
Not yet.
It's the taped knuckles.
Dunhill hands this one off. Oh, Aaron Alexander. He just got absolutely leveled. Mauer Rivers says, "You ain't running through me. Loss of 1 for you."
And he just put his shoulder right in that poor guy's gut.
He sure did.
He go nowhere.
Second down and 11. Alexander with only 5 carries now on the season for a grand total of 13 yards. That pass down to Cade Stevens out of bounds. After a gain of 6, third down and 5. And Fort Worth really hoping they don't have to settle for a field goal here. Third down and 5. They're 2 of 4 on third down so far in the ball game.
Yeah, no, but if they did have to settle for a field goal here, which is I know that what they don't want, it will close it down to a 1-score game. So, and you're on a passing situation. I'd say Robert Garrett Jr. over the middle right here. The best option.
And they're going to throw it over the middle, and it's into the end zone for the touchdown. It's not to Robert Garrett Jr., but John Fullerton gets it done. Making that touchdown reception and closing it down to the 3-point game. Extra point try coming up.
Yeah, and as you can see right there, the defense was thinking what I was. You're going to see, if you look at it again, if you get a good look at it, Jack Brown, the middle linebacker, had his eye on Robert Garrett Jr., which created a hole on the left side, well, on the right side of the defense right there for the rookie to catch the ball and be able to get it in for a score.
Dunhill with 165 yards on 15 completed passes, 2 touchdowns and a pick, triple-digit quarterback rating, 75% completion percentage. Other than that pick, you really can't complain. Extra point by Amelia Rose is up and good. 16-14 now the score here in Fort Worth.
And congratulations to Mr. Fulton, his first career touchdown catch.
And not a bad way to do it to get your team back into it from a 2-score deficit down to a 1-score deficit. Ball taken out of the end zone. Oh, and brought down by the collar. Flag is thrown.
Tried to grab his nose.
Grab his nose?
Oh, watch out. He grabbed the face mask. Pull the kid back. Look.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, brought down by the nose. That's a penalty.
That's like, no, that's almost like a Matt Wilson move to poke him in the eye.
Yeah, Matt did like to poke people in the eye.
But you know what happened there, huh? Oldeby had that face shield. It couldn't happen.
15-yard penalty will give them good starting field position up at their own 39-yard line. Now nursing that lead that they have. Only a 2-point lead. Had a 2-score lead a couple of times. But they've been doing good. They've scored on every possession. See if they can keep that going here. Ball is handed off to Terrell Sutherland, and he'll go for a loss of 2 on the play. Second down.
Yeah, he had a running lane right up the middle. He had very good blocking right up the middle, and he just chose to kind of run right behind his offensive lineman. That was a little bit questionable there, but not. Look, this I think this drive right here, Charleston is feeling pressure. This is going to say a lot about them, and and how motivated they are.
Johnson gets this one out to Storm, and he's brought down after a very short gain. They'll give them 3. 3rd down and 9.
Because now that, they've actually, Fort Worth has actually put together a few good drives and they'll be able to get themselves 14 points and close to a 2-score lead right here. I think the pressure is, it's on Charleston right now, right? Because they know that they struggle to score.
Charleston 50% on 3rd down so far tonight. Now they're a little over 50%, which is where they are for the season. 2-minute warning here in Fort Worth. Charleston in possession of the football with a 2-point lead. And they'll also get the ball to start the second half. So they're in good position here. They could add on to their lead even through a field goal. They'll get the ball back and could once again make it a 2-score game. Johnson under center now. On 1st down, he's 16 of 22 with 140 yards. Hands this one off to Saren Storm. Storm passing the 50-yard mark. And we've got an update from Tulsa. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Mike. Easily the most highlight-worthy play of the first half. This is Los Angeles nearly blocking the punt. Tulsa had already blocked a punt already in this game. It was Jay Rock, and Jay Rock is the one that forces the fumble. Returned for a touchdown, but the extra point was blocked. Tulsa leads Los Angeles 13-6 in the 3rd on Next Level Sports. Back to you guys in Texas.
Thank you, Cam. A game of special teams going on over there.
Yeah, man, I thought it was pretty interesting that he said, J-Rock, and all of a sudden The Rock, as a football call, sometimes hits the ground.
Rock knocking the rock loose, and then the rock recovers, and my goodness.
And takes the rock into the end zone.
It's a lot of rocks.
I got some of my
Also what your foundation's made out of back home.
Oh.
Rocks. Oh, right into the hands of Aiden Davis, but he's unable to haul that one in. And it's a 2nd down. Should have been a turnover.
Man, I'm looking at these Fort Worth uniforms. Man, these things are looking sharp. With the blue, with the white helmets, and oh man, that's some nice uniforms.
They're very pretty.
Yeah.
Kind of like your haircut. You look great.
Thanks.
2nd down. Terrell Sutherland stiff-arming a defender into the turf. Ooh, that could have been a late hit, but they don't call it. Spot him with a gain of 1. Clock stops with 53 seconds to go. 3rd down and 9.
Yep. It's the home team making the late hit out of bounds. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. But here it is. Here's a chance for Fort Worth to get off the field. Now this is they're gonna play press man right here.
3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson looks, fires for the 1st down. Oh, it's caught, and they'll mark it a fumble.
Jesus.
And the ball is still bouncing around. Recovered.
Charleston got it.
Yeah, it's recovered by Charleston. So this is going to be interesting. And the clock is stopped.
Good God.
So
Delaney Nash tried to decapitate that guy.
yeah, I'm going to see what happens here, though, because I don't think that was a fumble. And the booth is going to review. I think that was too quick. I think Murphy got hit. The ball got knocked out. And I'm going to say that this one's incomplete. But we'll see what happens.
I'm going to say, dude, that tight end, man.
No, Nash absolutely rocked that ball. That was incomplete. Sam Pang, the guard, jumping on it.
No, it's a what is it?
And it's going in Fort Worth's favor, so that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Oh, it's 4th down now.
Yeah.
I was confused for a moment. I'm just
like, wait, why is he celebrating?
Well, I'm just like, man, see what happens when Quintez throws it to him and he catches it in stride. He gets laid out. Maybe he throw it to the back shoulder all the time.
So Lion Trees kneeling down at his 40-yard line. Brad Bretchett on for darn near a 50-yard field goal. Fort Worth still with negative rushing yards. Charleston's kick is up and no good. Falls short. So now Fort Worth will get the ball at their own 40-yard line. Still have 44 seconds to go in all 3 timeouts.
it wasn't like, I don't know, man. He had a few yards. I hit like the back of the end zone. I almost thought that, yeah, man, a guy like that, man, you can make that kick, but I guess not. And this is what look. If they try to set up for field goal attempts, Charleston is going to run themselves into trouble because this is a third consecutive drive, fourth. Because they started out scoring touchdowns. The fourth consecutive drive where they had a field goal attempt happen, and it's playing right into Fort Worth's favor right here.
And this
they
one,
keep themselves in it.
The first drive of the ball game where they did not come away with points. So now Fort Worth has an opportunity to do something here, and Kevin Brackett just absolutely leveling the ball carrier, Jay-Z Bacon. Fort Worth will burn their first time out. 41 seconds to go, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and look, and Charleston's going to have to put more points on the board right here. The way they started out the first quarter would, lead you to believe that, hey, man, they can put more points on the board, but here you are with 16 and, 4 straight field goal attempts.
Dunhill down to the bottom, gets the catch and gets the first down. Could not get out of bounds. I mean, he could have gotten out of bounds.
Yeah,
chose not to.
I would have called a timeout right there.
I would have strongly encouraged Cade Stevens to step out of bounds. 24 seconds. Dunhill over the middle, and it's picked off, going back the other direction up to the 36-yard line. Great play by the defense. John Stamongo gets the pick.
I don't think that pass was intended, because you're going to look at it. Robert Garrett Jr. was the one further back, but I don't think that pass was intended for him. I think it was intended for Stephen Hacker, who was in the open area in that little pocket in between, the safeties and the linebackers right there, and just Dunhill just overthrew it.
So Kentez Johnson back out onto the field, trips formation down to the bottom. He's 17 to 25 for 148 yards. No picks, but no touchdowns yet either. Going for a long pass here, and that one is incomplete. Was trying to hit Jay Hayden down the right sideline. 2nd down and 10, 14 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think Jay Hayden's like, yeah, man, just throw me a fade route. He was the one who got hammered over the middle. Running across the middle right there. Like, that's totally fading around.
Yeah, I'm not going across the middle anymore, not unless Aiden Davis is on the bench.
But I'm very surprised here with 14 seconds that Charleston's lining up in the offensive formation that they are.
Jack Brown in the chat saying, Mike, stop trying to jinx Kentez. Kentez Johnson throws to the uber athletic tight end, Brian Murphy, with his 2nd jumping catch of the ball game. 3 seconds to go, and Charleston will burn their 2nd timeout. 1 remaining. It looks like this might be Hail Mary territory here.
Yeah, Murphy's doing it all in the catching game. He's catching it and making jump. I just realized he's either jumping and catching it, back shoulder catching it.
Yeah.
If you throw it to him and lead into him, it seems like Fort Worth's like, we're gonna eat that for lunch and have him drop it.
Yeah. So right. Has he made just a basic catch? No. They've all been impressive athletic plays. That's what he does. 3 seasons in the league. First with Charleston, came over in free agency from Denver. Johnson under pressure, and down he goes. That will bring us to the end of the first half. Luther Gond getting the sack. Johnson unable to unleash the ball. I would have tried to get that one to Brian Murphy, but he couldn't do it. 16-14. Your score after 2 quarters of play. Charleston out in front. Not by a lot, but they'll get the ball back. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Stephen Hacker with us in the stats truck, not to be confused with the Stephen Hacker on the field. Totally different people.
Yeah, like I said, it's a common name across all America.
Listen, I've met the Stephen Hacker in the stats truck. No way he's making that 42-yard spinning touchdown catch.
You never know. He might tape them knuckles up and transform.
Anywho, 1st down and 10 from the 27-yard line. So Charleston settling for a lot of field goals like we talked about, Gerald. They got a touchdown rush, which they hadn't seen all season on their opening possession. And then they were able to work their way down the field for a 49-yard field goal, a 24-yard field goal, a 21-yard field goal. Then they missed the 49-yarder, going the opposite direction, and then ran out of time. Back out onto the field. Kentez Johnson slinging it. That one incomplete, batted away.
Man, I don't know if Remington James just didn't see it when it bounced off the linebacker's head, back of the linebacker's head. Remington James almost just let the ball just fall right at his feet. That was an opportunity to grab it at the knees and put your team in a inside their own 40, damn near in field goal range.
Johnson was 17 of 27 for 157 yards in the first half. Saren Storm gets the ball, runs for a loss of 2 on the play. Had 10 attempts for 54 yards in the first half. 3rd down and 12.
J.L. Browning. Man, such recognition on that play. Been able to come in, and him and Adam Leach recognized that real quick and just closed on it.
Predators 4 of 9 on 3rd down. Make that 4 of 10 as that one is picked off. Threw it straight into the hands of Noah Rager. And, well, there you go. Fort Worth's got that great starting field position that you thought might have happened a couple snaps ago.
Well, I mean, look, in the previous play, he let that thing just bounce right off the back of his head. He's like, if I can see one, I'm going to catch it. And that's exactly what happened.
Rager getting his first career interception. 2nd season in the league. Has a few pass deflections to his credit, but that is indeed his first career pick. Congratulations to number 50. J.Z. Bacon rushes for a loss of 1 on that snap. A couple of career firsts in this ball game. We saw John Fullerton's first career touchdown reception, and now Noah Rager's first career pick.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll equate to a win for these guys getting these little firsts in their career.
J.Z. Bacon. He's up to the races into the end zone. Touchdown, Toros. Bacon puts 6 on the board.
It almost looked like he was getting caught up in the junk. Dude, he literally spin moved once and just went by 2 guys and just lost them. Watch this right here. He had good blocks right there. Aaron Alexander got one. Boom. Right there. 2 linebackers spun away from it. Look, and since when do you see Jack Brown get lost on any ball carrier and miss a tackle on him? But he all got turned around. J.Z. Bacon, here they are.
That does not happen often to Jack Brown. It happened on that play. J.Z. Bacon gets his 5th touchdown rush on the season. 5th touchdown rush of his career, in fact. Extra point is up and good. Amelia Rose gets that one through the uprights. Fort Worth 21, Charleston 16. Fort Worth finally gets their first lead of the ball game. Sunday night, the focus of the SFL slate shifts west, where once again Las Vegas and the Arizona Scorpions are in a battle at the top of the West Division standings. Can the Fury stop Arizona's unbeaten run? Kickoff is at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, with action around the league beginning in Detroit at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. SFL action tomorrow night only on SFL YouTube.
But the way that drive ended and everything else like that, and the way Charleston has been settling for field goals, you cannot trade field goals for field goal attempts for touchdowns. It just isn't a recipe for success in any way. And credit to Fort Worth's defense, right? Having that bend but don't break mentality.
1st down and 10. Saren Storm trying to do what Bacon just did. He's tackled, though, after a 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4.
That's a good start for our 1st down, especially, after losing the lead for the first time in the game here. Being able to go out on 1st down and, be able to pick up 6 yards. It creates a 2nd and short. And if you get to 3rd down here, it should definitely be a 3rd and short.
Couldn't even get the whole play called. My goodness. Terrell Sutherland gets the handoff and then immediately regrets it. J.L. Browning level him.
Yeah, they land some hits on the forward Toro defense, man.
3rd down and 3. It is a 3rd and short, like you had mentioned. Johnson down to the bottom. Keeps the play alive. That pass caught by Davius Reed. First down and 10 from the 38.
Yeah, Davius Reed being one of the most veteran players on this Charleston team right here, being in the league for 11 seasons. You know, when you need yourself a short, sure route, you know, throw it to the guy that's been around like a little minute. He's able to pick it up and keep the drive alive.
First down and 10. 3 receivers out to the right. Left. One of those. One to the right. Johnson pumps, throws over the middle into traffic. Somehow caught. Pass was complete. Tackled at midfield. Great catch by Honus Odeby.
I guess that's why Quintez is, you know, leading the league in completions. He knows where to put the ball and have guys catch it. Dude, that was in so much traffic. Not only his own guys, but defenders everywhere.
Johnson with 181 yards on the day. Back to pass, looking to add to that total. Goes up top, and that one's complete as well. Deep out route up to the 33-yard line in Fort Worth territory.
That was a perfectly placed ball by Quintez and a great route run by Davius Reed right there. Let him right only where Davius Reed can get it, and that was another piece of chunk yardage for them to reset the downs right here.
Oh, a huge hit in the backfield. That one goes for a loss of 3.
Man, it must be that Tex-Mex barbecue and everything else they got in Fort Worth that these guys are eating, man. They're just laying people down like that.
Punishing hits for the Toros out in front. Offset eye in the backfield, second down and 13. Swings this one out to Sutherland, and he's able to gain his way up to the 31-yard line. Third down and 7.
Well, he picked up, you know, somewhat of the yards they lost, and maybe a couple more. So here we are, third and medium, I guess I would call it. I wouldn't call it a third and long, but it's a third and medium. Let's see what the Fort Worth defense can, come away with here.
Johnson over the middle, jumping catch by Brian Murphy. Player of the game right there, Gerald.
Well, when you need something on this thing, man, it seems like, hey, when they need a big play, they've been throwing to their tight end, the most targeted guy on the team. That's his 6th catch for 69 yards. I wonder where Harish Prasad is right now.
I haven't seen him in the chat. He's missing out. Saren Storm met in the backfield by a host of tacklers and will go for a loss. Leach getting in on that tackle.
And it really seems like, you know, especially for Fort Worth, that they're struggling to get the stops that they need on third down until Charleston gets in field goal range.
Johnson swings this one out to Hoagland, it looks like. And Hoagland goes for a loss of 1. Skippy in the chat says that Harish sent her. I don't know, it's like some sort of representative or something, and maybe she's his agent, I'm not sure. But she says that Harish says nice. I think he probably would have.
Yep. A lot of pause moments.
I'm not really sure that she's an official representative of Harish Prasad. She might be making this up. Harish is currently overseas. Oh, that pass is bobbled around and nearly picked off. I think 3 different Toros defenders had their hands on it. Remington James, for sure, could not haul it in. Looks like Aiden Davis had it too, but falls harmlessly to the turf.
Right, and
down.
here it is again, Charleston having to settle for a 5th straight field goal attempt. You know, Fort Worth, look, if I'm a coach on sideline Fort Worth, I'd be, pulling the very little hair, if any, I have left out of my head. But, I mean, on the bright side, hey, they're stopping them. Bend but don't break, forcing these field goal attempts. And even if they make this field goal attempt, you are still in the lead, and you're actually doing a little bit better on at least finishing the drives for a touchdown score as opposed to what Charleston's doing.
Brad Breccidon For his 6th field goal attempt, as you mentioned. Excuse me, Fred Brechet. Yep, kick is up and good. This time for 39 yards out. His 5th field goal make of the ball game, and 19 points now on the board. Close game. I mentioned in the opening, Gerald, they've only met each other twice, and Charleston's won both of those matchups, but both of them have been very close games. Excuse me, Fort Worth has won one of the matchups. Charleston won the other matchup. They both played in Charleston. And now here in Fort Worth, both of those games were one-score games. Their first one all the way back in 2020, September of 2020. A great year, as I recall. Charleston won 19-13. And then they met again last 2 years ago in 2021. I forget it's 2023 sometimes, man. Fort Worth won that game 16-13. So close games. We've got a 2-point ball game right here. So Fort Worth back in possession of the football at their own 23-yard line.
And this is the first time Fort Worth actually plays Charleston at home. And apparently they like to kick field goals in those other 2 games as well.
Field goals as far as the eye can see. Bacon hops over a guy, spins, and gets tackled. Gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, Mark Martin wasn't having none of that spinning stuff.
It's like, no.
He's like, yeah, I'm a little bit more nimble on my feet. See, nimble, I used it.
There you go. Twice in the same game.
Then a linebacker. You're not gonna get me out of my shoes.
Second down and 7. Dunhill throws for the first down to Cade Stevens, out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
I can't believe Cade Stevens was that wide open. The guy ran a 8-yard out route and had nobody within 5 yards of him when he caught the ball.
First down and 10 from the 36. 3 receiver set. This was Matt's favorite formation. 3 receivers, a tight end, and a running back. Dunhill over the middle. That one complete. Robert Garrett Jr., the Cowboy, gets the catch, does the shimmy. First down from the Charleston 44. 44 takes it to the 44.
Yeah, and that's a whopping 20-yard gain right there. And if it wasn't for the safety cleaning it up, I think the Cowboy breaks that tackle right there, and he could be running down the field just whipping his cowboy hat in the air.
Wow, that would be a very athletic play by the tight end.
Robert Garrett Jr.'s he's a stud.
He's got it.
He's a stud.
Nothing
from Brian Murphy, but Robert Garrett Jr. is a stud.
Brian Murphy certainly seems like a stud based on the stats he's putting up. Ball is handed off to Bacon. Oh, blockers out in front, but wow. Great play by the defense. Jack Brown, he knew what was coming.
Yeah. J.Z. Bacon was looking for that sizzle, and Jack Brown was having none of it that time. Nope, gotcha.
Only a 3-yard gain. That one looked like it was going to go for big yardage. Bacon taking a break. It's an odd sentence. Dunhill over the middle into traffic. I'm not quite sure what he saw there because Brown was right in the way the whole time.
Yeah, Jack Brown making consecutive plays right here, so enforcing, Fort Worth into a 3rd and medium-ish long. Is that even a word?
Medium-ish long? That is definitely not a word, no.
It's not 3rd. I mean, 3rd and long for me is like 3rd and 8 or more.
Right.
And 3rd and 5 to 7 is like medium, but when you're 7, you're like, it's a Common Core. It's about like 10.
Dunhill into traffic again and incomplete again. 4th down and 7 from the 41 outside of field goal range, and these ones are always painful when you have to punt when you're in opponent territory, but not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, here comes Ray Einhorn. Gives me flashbacks of Finkel and Einhorn.
I think that might be where that came from.
Yeah. And he kicks, too. It's great.
Hopefully the laces were out, and the ball will bounce down at the 9, down to the 2, and marked down at the 3-yard line. Beautiful special teams play by Fort Worth. Remington James, he does it in the secondary, does it on special teams.
Saw him curl his legs so he didn't step in the end zone.
Almost like he got tased or something.
Great coaching. No, he would have just went straight like a board. He wouldn't have curled up. His foot would have went in the end zone. Thought I had my remote in my pocket.
Johnson under center. Back in the shadow of his own end zone there. Hands the ball off to Saren Storm. Storm only gains 5, but a well-earned 5 yards on that one.
Yeah, man, like it almost like when he did his juke move, it was about a step too soon because Delaney Nash wasn't having. He's like, "What are you doing, man?"
Terrell Sutherland with a nice block that sprung that play. Storm only able to gain 1. 63 yards on the day now for Saren Storm. 3rd down and 4.
And Saren Storm is, he's got a above, 3.5 average, which is something they can't say on the season either. He's only averaging 2.8.
Johnson throws behind the line of scrimmage. Can he get to where he needs to get? No. 4th down and inches. Sutherland takes that swing route pass up to the 13-yard line, but not far enough. And we will see Eric Blueberry on to punt, the undrafted rookie.
This right here, they do have contract punter. Let's see how far the rookie can punt this ball.
From the goal line, he gets about 55 yards of air time, 4.2-second hang time. Ball returned up to the 49, gets it just across midfield. That is where Fort Worth will come back out onto the field on offense. So the second half so far, Charleston started off by throwing a pick. Fort Worth would capitalize off that with a 28-yard touchdown rush by J.Z. Bacon. Charleston got the ball back 12th place 52 yards later, ending with a 39-yard field goal try, but now both squads have exchanged punts. See what they can do here. Aaron Alexander, he'll gain a yard. 2nd down.
Yeah, it looks like they're both trying to slow the game down right here, right? Just kind of, slow it down, kind of catch a breath and be able to see what you're going to be able to do here on offense.
Team that scores last could very well win, so they're probably just trying to get it down to the end of the game and punch it in one last time. Dunhill in the gun. Over the middle and complete. 1st down and 10 from the 34s. We see the final minute approach here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, and he was able to find Cade Stevens, man. Cade Stevens ran across, almost, he wasn't a trailing receiver, but he's one on the most outside right there and was able to get it, get him the ball. But now they got themselves right on the edge of field goal range right here. So, look, and I don't know, I'm getting the feeling that Fort Worth, even only being up 2 points, that they are oddly comfortable with where they are offensively and defensively.
Well, yeah, they finally got the lead in the ball game, and they're maintaining it right now. Oh, that pass down to Stephen Hacker. Contested and broken up. 2nd down.
Yeah, that's, I would take the Stephen Hacker, him catching that ball each and every time.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Yeah, and it looked like he actually had it in his hands, and the defender was able to just punch it right out of there before he had a chance to pull it down. Look at that mustache, man.
Yeah.
That's a stud.
He is a stud. I think you got a man crush on Hacker. I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. Dunhill over the middle. That one is complete. Gets it back to Cade Stevens. Good for a gain of 8. 3rd and 2.
So this makes it really, really manageable right here. Now if Fort Worth is able to finish this drive with a touchdown, it puts extreme pressure on Charleston. They finish with a field goal. I think Charleston, they got a shot.
3 of 6 on 3rd down. Make that 4 of 7. As that pass is complete to Charlie Baker. They'll move the chains. 1st down and 10. 3 quarters in the books. 11 minutes remains here in Fort Worth. The Toros out in front. They've got the ball. They're in scoring range. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
21-19, Fort Worth with the lead after 3 quarters of play. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. A totally different Stephen Hacker in the stats truck with us on stats. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios. And there's the Stephen Hacker on the field doing another athletic type catch, trying to learn his best moves from Brian Murphy and Robert Garrett Jr.
No, I ain't seen Brian Murphy do that. Back shoulder catches, yeah, but back shoulder catches and
well spinning.
Yeah, and then keeping your feet in bounds.
Right. Yeah, you just can't be impressed by the tight end. Unbelievable.
Them tight end in Louisiana are pretty impressive, though.
High formation for the Toros. Deep drop by Dunhill. Gets it into the end zone. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Robert Garrett Jr. takes it for 6.
Can't deny that the Cowboy didn't come to play right there. And even took a check from the linebacker there. Kind of came up, or maybe one of the safeties hit him right as he was making his cut, and he was still able to get the ball out. And Dunhill had to make an adjustment, kind of slowed him down on drop, was able to catch it. And now Fort Worth is up 2 scores. And now this puts extreme pressure on Charleston to go down and actually score a touchdown.
Robert Garrett Jr. with 4 touchdown receptions on the season. Was not able to haul one in last week, even though the 3 out of the 4 wide receivers did. So showing the tight end some love as they get the extra point up and through. 28-19. Charleston now trailing by 9. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life. Inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect track for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. First down from the 25-yard line. Charleston now down by 2 scores. Charleston actually had a 2-score lead at multiple points throughout this ball game. Fort Worth finally was able to get out in front. They haven't let that up, and now Fort Worth with the 2-score lead. Charleston can no longer settle for field goals here, Gerald.
No, not at all.
Storm trying to get outside. He can't do it. Tackled in the backfield by J.L. Browning. Another tackle for a loss. 2nd down and 12. See the comparison of these 2 halfbacks. Not a lot of rushing yards really on either side, but Bacon having that long touchdown rush earlier on, and Storm had a touchdown rush on his opening possession, but quiet since.
Yeah, they've been quiet offensively since. I mean they're able to move the ball, right? They have been able to move the ball, but they just can't finish drives. And it almost feels like as the game has been progressing and as Fort Worth has been, kind of catch it up. The only way I can describe it is like they're just either dropping in quicksand or just slowly drowning right now. Like they just can't keep themselves from going under.
And they're moving the ball, but the wrong way on this drive. And now Johnson overthrows his receiver. Tried to hit Odeby. Had to dive for it. Even if he had caught it, he would have been well short of the line to gain. A very, very quick 3-and-out as Eric Blueberry back onto the field to punt for the Predators.
Yeah, that's definitely not what they needed. They needed to at least go down there and at least get another field goal to be able to close it down to, to a 1-score game. But they're going to have to do it defensively here and put themselves in a better situation, or try and force another turnover.
Punt is away. Taken back at the 42-yard line, returned up to the 45-yard line, and Fort Worth really in the driver's seat now. They've been able to get 2 touchdowns on the board here in the second half, whereas Charleston has only scored 1 field goal. And now Fort Worth looking to, maybe put this one away if they can get into the end zone again. And they're only 55 yards away from the goal line. Two receivers out to the left. Dunhill throws up to one of them, gets Hacker, and plenty of yards after the catch. Nearly broke that tackle all the way down to the 27-yard line. Huge gain for Hacker, 1st and 10.
And you see Hacker, him being the veteran that he is right here, right? When he caught the ball, he started instantly protecting it, knowing that the defenders are going to try, to be able to punch it out as he's passing by. Look, and when when Hacker's covering the ball right there, it does slow him down a little bit. He can't run like he typically runs, but he's playing the odds and knowing what the defender's going to do. Had he broke that tackle, he was gone.
Dunhill in the gun. Goes down to the bottom. Another nice catch and run for the Toros. Cade Stevens getting that one. 1st down inside the red zone.
Yeah, the Charleston defense just doesn't know what to do or what to expect anymore right now, because they just feel kind of helpless at point, man, that they're always on the field and their offense hadn't done a whole lot for them as of late. So
ball is handed off and goes for a loss of 1. Aaron Alexander taking that handoff. The Charleston defense has been holding teams to under 25 points. But if you remember earlier on, Gerald, when Charleston was up 10-0, I mentioned how Fort Worth has scored no less than 24 points in any game this season. And they've already put 28 on the board now, as we have a 3rd down and 5 after that 6-yard reception by Stevens. But Fort Worth doing what they've been doing all season long.
Yeah. I mean, the way they're coached, right? You can't keep them down. I mean, they're pretty efficient on offense. They're able to run, almost a balanced attack, and be able to gear their game plans for their opponent pretty well. So
Dunhill under pressure still gets the pass out into the end zone. Back-to-back touchdown receptions by the Cowboy.
Yeah, and the offensive line gave him enough time. I thought they were going to get to him back there, but he made a little bit of move to his right and let Robert Garrett be able to, get in there, and the Cowboys in the end zone, and you can watch him right here. The Cowboys in the end zone pull out his pistol out of his pocket and starts firing in the air because they feel like they don't got this one in the bag.
It was the 2 pistol touchdown celebration. Why not? That's why they call him the Cowboy. Well, that's probably not why, but that's one of the reasons. I don't know. Just trying to fill that role.
Look, and if you look at their jerseys, man, it's almost like that the way their uniforms are. They're dressed in uniform, got that white cowboy hat on.
Yeah, there you go. Nice Stetson cap. We call them sombreros down in Mexico City.
That's a completely different thing.
No, it's not. Sombrero is literally Spanish for hat.
Yeah, but it's like,
it's Spanish for hat.
Yeah, but have you seen it?
Of course I've seen it.
I'm sure you've seen it. But
have you seen it, it says. Sombrero, Spanish for hat. Yeah, so it's just a hat.
Aren't they overly large and extravagant?
Well, yeah. Specifically an actual sombrero.
Well, you said an actual sombrero. Apparently it just said in a hat.
It also means hat. 35-19, Fort Worth out in front, but a beautiful return by Odeby up to the 38-yard line. He's trying to single-handedly get a touchdown for Charleston. Sets him up with good starting field position, though, up at the 38-yard line. And, they got to score. You mentioned that, maybe a touchdown reception by Garrett Jr. could have had this one in the bag for Fort Worth, and I think that's entirely possible. We'll see. Johnson throws it behind the line of scrimmage, hit behind the line, brought up to the line, and then I think that might have been a little retaliation right there. Quarterback comparison, Marcus Dunhill really leading the way.
Oh yeah, and it's no question, right? And that's been, Fort Worth's high spot, right? That their passing attack and being as good as it is, right? Them having the number 3 passing attack in the league. It's no surprise, right? That Dunhill's able to get 4 touchdowns and versus 2 interceptions.
Storm takes the handoff, has a nice block, and is able to gain some yards up the right-hand side. Sets up a 3rd down and 5.
And it's look every drive is important, especially a third down in this manner, right? You're down 16 points, 2 scores, and you got. I feel like they're gonna be running out of time here. I mean, they need to run tempo or something.
Johnson throws over the middle for first down yardage, but it's incomplete. Oh, to be the intended target, but laid out by Ben Stone and whoever Chip Mustang is. He was there. He did a nice little.
It bounced off his feet or something.
Whee!
He touched it. Like, I got in the game. It's great.
Mr. and Mrs. Mustang proud of their boy Chip for getting out onto the field.
Look, I don't know if he was trying to bat the ball down or waving to his mom. Hi, Mom. But here we are. This is Charleston's got to force a turnover. Here they're about to punt. Look, and they have a chance to kind of pin them a little bit deep. But
Eric Blueberry from his own 30-yard line. The ball will fall down at the 20. Return up for about a 3-yard gain. First down and 10 from the 23. So, what started off all Charleston, Fort Worth, on the very first play of the game, Gerald Dunhill threw an interception. And, Charleston capitalized off that. Points off turnovers, 5 plays, 33 yards, 7-yard touchdown rush. Their first touchdown rush of the season. Then they held Fort Worth to a 3-and-out. They were able to get a field goal off of it, a 49-yard field goal at that. Had a 2-score game. It was looking like all Charleston. Here's another big play. This one going down the left sideline. Stephen Hacker, he's hit twice, finally brought down all the way at the 10-yard line. There's a flag on the play, but that looked like it was the beginning offsides. That will absolutely be declined. And it was. So a huge gain by Fort Worth. Like I was saying, this game started off all Charleston, and then a little shift. It's been all Fort Worth this second half.
And this was somewhat of a simple 5-yard out that Hacker and our knuckle tape says I'm trying to take it to the house, and it gets all the way to the 9-yard line.
Not Nacho in the chat says Mike Daggs is correct. Sombreros are also like cowboy hats here in the USA. Ha!
Yeah, it's a cowboy hat. I mean,
we call it a sombrero.
Well, what do you call a baseball hat? Is that a cap or a hat? Or is all hats caps? Or are hats caps and caps hats?
What are you, Dr. Seuss over here?
No, man. It's like a legit question.
Is it?
Yeah, because some people say a cap is never a hat.
Is there a cat in a hat? That could change it.
A cat in the cap?
Oh, cat in a hat. The cat. No, we're not even debating that. The cat was in the hat. 5 receiver set, 2nd and goal. 5.5 to go in whatever this game is becoming. Dunhill looking towards the end zone, fires over the middle, and that one is complete. Mike Caker with the reception. We're digging deep into the bag of players now, as we've seen Chip Mustang on defense and Mike Caker on offense.
Yeah, Caker with a K. That's an interesting spelling.
Gora is a baseball cap. That's what not Nacho says. Who I have a sneaking suspicion might be Nacho.
No, it specifically said it's not Nacho.
I know. Ball is handed off to Bacon. He's into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown rush of the ball game, and I think it might be safe to say at this point, Fort Worth does indeed have this in the bag.
Yeah, if Fort Worth wasn't hot enough in this second half, Jay-Z Bacon brought his own sizzle to the end of it and is able to put them up by 3 scores now. And now, with right under 5 minutes left, I don't think Charleston really has a chance, to be able to come back, especially the way that their game has been going, because they haven't been moving the ball effectively, having to settle for 4 field goals on 5 attempts. It started out great, but then they just, it's like, you jump in quicksand, or like when you're swimming. You think you're afloat, and all of a sudden you just slowly start dropping.
You go.
Get tired,
it's the weirdest analogy I think I've ever heard.
Or like quicksand, you just jump in, everything's okay, but the more you move, the more you sink.
It's like, yeah. There you go.
It's the
You're
same
like,
thing,
what?
right? Like I'm looking at you like what? Like how do you not get what I'm saying?
28 unanswered points. I should say, I don't know. It's like swimming. It's also like quicksand. It's like if you jumped into a vat of pudding and you would slowly just, go down because of the viscosity. It's kind of thick, and it's like, get to the point, man.
See, that's what I'm saying. Look,
That's what you're saying.
They've been slowly going under.
Right.
You can just put whatever they're going under in.
Right.
They're just slowly sinking and going under.
Well, salt water.
And they can
You
get-
know what an orca would live in. That's slightly thicker than actual water, depending on how much salt is in there. It could also be very high viscosity water. Anyway, Johnson throws. That one is, I thought that was going to be picked off too. To the jugs machine for this Toros secondary in the practice this week. Second down and 10.
Yeah, everybody had a chance at that pass. Even right at the end, the receiver tried to come in there and make a diving catch right at the end. It may have been something to spark the Charleston offense right there, because they're just struggling all around.
Ty 5801 in the chat says, we need a thesis from Gerald on the downfall of Charleston tonight. It's going to be more like a haiku, I think, than a thesis.
Oh, shoot, man, I don't know. You jump in it and then you just sink. You start out good.
Here we go again.
I'll write it down and mail it.
It's like if you're sitting in a pot of gumbo, go into the no huddle.
Yeah, man, you're on the pot of gumbo. You're hanging on the sausage.
Right,
Notice
just
it's
just holding
unstable,
on.
and then once you
fall
get
off.
a little bit too confident, you just fall off and you go under.
Right into the chicken stock.
Right into the
Then
chicken.
down you go.
Yep, and then you're trying to hold on to the piece of chicken to keep it
Grabbing
afloat.
for veggies or whatever, and just can't, they just squish. So they're too tender, and then you sink. And then suddenly, before you know it, you're down 42-19.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of this makes any sense.
It
I don't
doesn't.
think it does.
It
No,
doesn't. Fort Worth covered the spread.
they did. They did indeed. Yeah. 8.5-point favorites here at home, and they have indeed covered the spread. If they keep this up, they could actually cover the over-under on their own. Johnson trying to get things done on this drive, and he's moving the ball.
Yeah, Murphy with another catch. He's been the high point of the Charleston passing attack.
Absolutely, 81 yards on the day now for Murphy.
Again,
So they go right back to him, quickly approaching the 100-yard mark, down to the 21-yard line. A gain of 15 on that reception.
throw it to him again.
Johnson floats this one, tipped and picked off. Tip drill was taken away. And it'll be the Fort Worth ball from the 5-yard line. Ben Stone getting the pick.
Yeah, Ben Stone, the former minor league quarterback for the Birmingham Fuel, coming away with that interception. 4 seasons here in Fort Worth. I know he took a season or two off and came back and still doing good things.
Digging deep into the bag of statistical data, saying where Ben Stone came from.
Yeah, man.
Your knowledge is just
That's
impeccable.
not in the research sheet.
No, that's not. I was going to say that's not listed anywhere. Where is he getting this from? Deep within the brains.
I do my homework.
Gerald Smith. Yeah, that's good. You're supposed to. That's part of it. You did your homework on the car while your wife drove you to the stadium,
yeah.
but hey, whatever it takes.
Well, maybe next week my name will be in the read.
It could be. I highly doubt it.
That's
It's staff shout outs.
That's true. I'm not staff. I'm just no one.
No, you're just
I'm just a dude.
ye old basic color commentator.
That's oversimplifying it.
Third down and 8 inside 3 minutes to go. Fort Worth really got this one turned around. There was a point in the game where they hadn't even had a single yard, and it was early on. It was only the third drive.
Yeah,
you can't blow that out of proportion, I guess.
And I don't. You can tell the way that they handle themselves that they were not panicked at all. They had a game plan that they had put forth, and they were going to execute it. And they just did it, and the defense held tough. forcing 5 field goal attempts.
Letting as much time tick away as they can. Bacon can't quite get that first down. It'll be a 4th down and 2 as we approach the 2-minute warning. And that was not even Bacon. That was Irvin E. Cameron, backup halfback.
Yeah, that's a great name.
It is a great name. If only it was reversed. That'd be kind of cool, too. But, 2 minutes here in Fort Worth. Watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Ty 5801 says no bacon for Dags. I'm having gumbo after this game.
But look, believe it or not, it's kind of crazy to think that Fort Worth has had 28 unanswered points, all in the second half. It's crazy.
It is, yeah. I mean, they really turned this game on its head. After a slow start, finally able to get things going.
I mean, I really don't know if it's a slow start, right? Maybe a little bit rocky, right, with the interception that they had in a 3-and-out. But I think they came to to the stadium today with a clear game plan of what they wanted to do, and they were going to execute that. Didn't matter what they were up against, right? The defense was a bend don't break, for a while, and forced a ton of field goals. And the only touchdown Charleston scored was the one where they had an extremely short field off the interception.
Yeah.
After that, it was just field goal after field goal after field goal. So, kudos to the defense of Fort Worth to be able to, stay composed enough to be able to, come out and be able to put up 42 points on them.
Charleston burns their first time out. Hey, don't leave the stream without joining our Discord server. There's so much more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Join to check out content for teams and about the league created by the community. Participate in pick'em games, play SFL fantasy football, and test your skills in the survivor pool. To join our server, you can visit simulationfl.net. Click on the Discord icon on the menu. The SFL community is 2,000 strong, and we will see you there. Gerald, heard you lost some money today.
Yes, I'd rather not speak of this. Yeah, it was
backup quarterback showing you up.
Yeah, the backup quarterback for somebody came in and won, and it's double pick week. So yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. Yep.
Money earned, money lost.
I was hoping to earn it.
Right.
Back.
It did not happen. Charleston on the move. Backups in for Fort Worth. As we tick inside the 1 minute mark here momentarily.
Yeah, Murphy, and look, and they're utilizing Murphy quite a bit. They like the matchup right here.
Johnson pumps, fires, end zone, incomplete. Clock stops with 53 seconds left. 3rd down and inches. Insurmountable lead, though.
Yeah.
23 points. Not able to get this turned around, I don't think.
Not with 53 seconds left and you're down 23 points.
Johnson throws, end zone, one-handed jumping catch, touchdown Charleston.
That was a very quick throw and a one-handed catch while getting hit as well. Maybe he said, I'm gonna take my chance of getting hit by one of these backups that are in here. But look, I don't know if it's any kind of consolation prize for Charleston, right? To be able to, right at the beginning of the game, within the first minute of the game, hey, you got a turnover and you're putting points on the board, and right at the end, you put more points on the board. But I don't know if it's means a whole lot doing it against the the second stringers. Or we're going to see the onside kick after this for sure.
Lion Trees with the hold. Brad Bretchett with the extra point. Henry Jones with 6 whales in the chat. I'm sure it means something. I can't for the life of me think of what.
I don't know. Say it 6 times.
Save the whales, everybody. Brechet with the onside kick, easily recovered by the Toros. Remington James, once again on special teams, had that ball that he pinned down at the 3-yard line earlier on and got that onside recovery. Was doing quite a bit of things on defense, too. Had an assisted tackle and 4 pass deflections. Remington James getting it done for his squad as we see Toros offense one final time. Jason Russell now in at quarterback to kneel this one away. Charleston burns their second time out.
Yeah, and they have this one in the bag. Like I said, I don't think Fort Worth ever panicked at all during this game, even being down 10-0, right? Like you saw what they were doing, right? And they just just come out and say, hey, business as usual. They felt like they were better than their opponent, and they came out here and they proved it.
Ball is kneeled down again. Final timeout burned by Charleston. We'll see one more kneel down, and then Fort Worth will actually have to punt. So Charleston may actually get one last play on offense. Still pondering what the 6 whales could possibly mean. I'm sure I'm probably thinking about it way more than I should. Who knows?
Kind of a whale, is it?
Oh, it's a blue whale. Wonder what the Spanish word is for whale. I'm really starting to go delirious. I think.
Not Nacho might
Oh,
might know, or he might not know.
Right. He might be Nacho. He might not be Nacho. Says he's not. Nobody knows.
He's incognito.
So Charleston going to get the ball back. Down 42-26.
I think this is it. I think once he kicks it, he's going to get some hang time, and that'll be it. See how much hang time he gets.
And he does return it up to the 19. Triple zeros on the clock. That will be your final score. Fort Worth wins it 42-26. Gerald, your final thoughts on this one?
It's just Fort Worth just had their game plan and came out and did what they wanted to do against their opponent. And they didn't rush for a whole lot of yards, and the yards, different was not too much different. But, Fort Worth just came out, like I said, executed their game plan. Their defense stood tall and forced 5 field goal attempts. And when you force your opponent to, to field goal attempts and only making 4 out of the 5 field goal attempts, and your offense is going down scoring touchdowns, that's a recipe for success. So. They did good, and Dunhill got over 375 passing with 4 TDs, and now they're improved to 3-2 in the season.
Charleston loses their 5th straight game. They'll fall to 1-5 on the season. Fort Worth will improve to 3-2, now tied with Mexico City at 3-2. Mexico City to play tomorrow night. Next up for Charleston, they have a bye week next week, so hopefully they can get things figured out. They've been hanging around in several of these games. Could have won this one, had a 2-score lead at one point, lost 2 of their games by 1-score games. See if they can get things turned around here as the season continues. Their next game will be Friday, March 3rd, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time, as they head to San Diego, take on the Mavericks, who lost earlier today to Canton. For Fort Worth, their next game will be Sunday, February 26th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They hit the road. They head to Baltimore in a clash against the Vultures. Coming up next, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Baltimore at Houston. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg on the call at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Jacksonville at Seattle, Ramos Lynn and Mark Lopez on the call. Both of those games on SFL YouTube. More SFL action tomorrow. 4 games on Sunday, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Queen City at Motor City, Carolina at Alamo City, D.C. at Mexico City, a lot of cities, holy smokes, and Arizona at Las Vegas. Demond Simeon, Eddie Gage, Eric Vincent, Chad Rowland, Ethan Muslin, and Nate Hall, along with Josh Zirkle and Mickey Malillo, all respectively on those calls. And then the Cam and Paul Monday Night Spectacular on Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Player of the game, Marcus Dunhill, 377 yards, 4 touchdowns, triple-digit quarterback rating. Congratulations to the Fort Worth Toros. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Final score, Fort Worth 42, Charleston 26. For Gerald Smith, Stephen Hacker, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who will always be with me in spirit, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night, everybody.